it's been out there for a while now. Look, I think deGrom wants the most money he can get. I'm not sure he cares that much about where it's going to be. I mean, it's been encouraging from a Mets standpoint to hear guys like Wheeler recently and Canna say that they've talked to him, he wants to come back. But Wheeler also said he wants to get paid for what he's already done in addition to what he can do. So I think he's not happy about that contract he signed the last time, the deferred money in particular. I think he feels like he's left a little bit on the table, and I think he's going to go for absolutely the highest bidder. If that's Texas, maybe that's the way he goes because, look, Texas trains in Arizona. We know he lives in Florida. Maybe that works for the Mets. But there's a million different ways to look at it now. Nobody really knows. You just got to see what he really wants when it comes down to it.
I'd be very concerned about this because the Texas Rangers last year spent money like drunken sailors. They spent a ton of money on Marcus Semien. They spent a gazillion dollars on Corey Seager. They got a brand spanking new stadium, and they desperately need starting pitching. So to me, they are the sort of team that could profile is that quote-unquote highest bidder. You know what I mean? So
and
I think the Mets...
brought in a win-now manager.
Well, and they want to win. They bring in Bruce Bochy. Yeah. They do not want to be a 74 or 75-win team. Now, the Mets have Steve Cohen, and the Mets could still end up being the highest bidder. But if Jacob deGrom, for whatever the reason, wants to leave New York and wants to leave New York City and wants a fresh start, Texas makes a whole lot of sense.
So I don't think we're overreacting. I think it's fair that he might go somewhere else, but if he wants to walk, let him walk. You don't want to force someone to be where they don't want to be. And I don't know what happened to the Tony Gwynns of the world, where you take less money to stay with the same team, but I feel like this is a normal part of free agency.
It is, and you really, listen, the Mets, I wouldn't blame the Mets if they draw a line on, say, a 3-year deal, because we know how much he's been injured, and you can't count on him for his durability. So if they want to draw that line, I don't think Mets fans are going to have a huge problem with it, as long as you bring in,
well, and that's the thing, right? Like in years past, the Mets would lose Jacob deGrom, and it would be like this catastrophic hit to the team. Don't get me wrong. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's had a great run with the team. But if they lose Jacob deGrom, they're not sitting on their hands and saying, hey, we're going to run back the same team without Jake. They will do something. I don't know what that is. I'm sure we'll spend some time over the next day, weeks, months, whatever the case may be, talking about how the 2023 Mets are going to look. But they will act. That's the good news about the way the Mets are doing business now in 2023.